When you hang around people with the right money mindset, you can experience quantum leap. It doesn't have to take forever for you to become rich. You've heard the saying, people say, oh, you have to make money slow. No, if you have the right connections and they tell you this is what you need to do, and if you increase your effort doing this, you're going to get that result within a very short period of time. And if you block it, guys, you're going to be extremely successful. But if you have the wrong money mindset, and you think it takes money to make money, or you think, oh, some people are cultists, they are doing some money rituals, and that is why they are rich. If we will have to grow our economy and change our nation to the next level, we need to understand what investing is all about. How can I put 5 people on the table, pitch a business idea, have them put money in that idea, or I put money in their idea. If it sounds good and they have a good plan and have a good team, I can invest in that idea knowing that that money is going to give me a return on my investment over time. That is very, very important. This is huge. This is where most of the rich people make their money. Some invest in insurance, some invest in banks, some invest in Fortune 500 companies. Today, I want to share with you the 5 reasons why you will never become rich. It's not like you're not working hard. It's not like you're not doing the right things, but there are certain habits and ways of handling money that guarantees that you will never become rich. Number 1, responsibilities. Some people carry the responsibilities of every family member that they know. That is, someone calls you for money, immediately you let it go. Someone calls you for $5,000, for $1,000, $200, it keeps going. You don't understand that this money that you're actually getting right now, you need to be investing that money, saving that money, doing what you need to be doing with that money to multiply it, and you let it go, and guess what? You will never become rich. The thing is, if you have relatives and you love them so much, instead of thinking that all I have to do is give them money, guess what? You provide your relatives with opportunities. They are amazing. They came into your life and you guys have grown together. Provide them with opportunities. When they call you to ask for money, show them opportunities. Teach them how to ask good questions so that you can be able to show them opportunities. Connect them with friends. Be able to guide them. Give them money ideas and ways that they can multiply their income. If they are smart, they will pick that and run with it. All I had to do was sit down with one of my relatives and we discussed about how they were able to be successful. And I picked up that idea and I'm like, boom, is it that easy? I'll go find my way. And when I come back and I'm like, oh, I went and implemented what you said and this is the result that I got. And they're like, wow, oh, that's smart. And they took me to the next step. They said, this is the next thing you need to do. And I had good friends in my life. And guess what? I went to them and I'm asked, what are you doing to get the results? And they said, this is what they are doing. And I went out there and I was able to get the same result. Why? Because I asked good questions. I never come to any wealthy person and ask them, give me money. I always ask them ideas. There's a saying, if you teach a man how to catch fish, he will eat fish for the rest of his life. But if you give him fish, he's still going to go hungry or he's going to come back asking for more fish. So if you teach people how to fish, which is the goal. I know you love your relatives. I know you love your friends when they call and ask you for money and you're like, oh, take. It is not really helping them. There is a place for charity. Don't get me wrong. There's a place for charity. But when you make charity your resting place, it is a problem. And when you approach rich people, ask good questions. How did you get here? How did you make your money? How did you expand your business? How did you scale? How do you monetize this product? Ask good questions, and that is very, very important, and including your relatives. If they ask good questions, they will be extremely successful, and you will be able to connect them with the right people, connect them with jobs, connect them with opportunities, and that is going to help them gain their financial independence. When you teach your relatives on how to make their own money, you restore their self-respect. When you teach your friends and those who come to you for money how to get their own money, they will get their self-respect because they know I worked hard for it. Because there is never a day you will learn how to treat other people's money like you treat yours. And so when you get your own money, You will understand how hard it is to get money, and then you will take care of your money well. But if you keep asking people for money, you will never understand the joy of actually going out there, doing something, getting your own money, and taking care of that money, multiplying that money, investing that money, or saving that money, if that makes sense. Number 2 is money management. We have various ways to manage money. Some of us grew up in homes where we understand that the essence of money is just to pay bills and spend. And so no matter what happens, you get this money and all you have to do is I'll pay bill and I'll spend it on clothes, spend it on shoes, spend it on things that I don't really need, spend it on things that are not assets but they are liabilities. Okay, so guess what? You will never become rich. And number 3, relationships. If I pick your phone right now and look at the 5 last people you've been discussing with on phone, I can determine how much is in your bank account. That is the people you're talking to, your inner circle, the people surrounding you. If they are broke, guess what? I can tell that you are broke. And so if you keep broke relationships, it is a guarantee that you will never become rich. True story. I want to let you know that I was able to travel to America. I was able to make money. I was able to invest and be able to start a business because I associated with friends that are business owners, friends that have high ambition, friends that are going out there in the world and actually growing their businesses and creating value. So your relationships is a key determinant that you will never become rich. Take this very serious. You're like, oh, I've known Sam forever. We are very good buddies. I'm not saying you cut off your friends. If they have a money mindset and they want to be prosperous, guess what? Keep them. I have a friend of mine. We haven't talked for like 10 years. The very first time we got on phone, I could feel it that we have grown, even though we have not been talking. But he's like, oh, bro, let's think about how we can increase our money. Let's multiply our money. Let's invest in this business. This is how he multiplies his money. He went on and on. It's like we didn't have to talk about junk, talk about people, talk about what is going on in the world. He's like, oh, guys, let's talk about how we can increase our money. Even after how many years, we started on a good ground and we knew each other and we know that we wanted to make something out of our lives. So regardless of how long we haven't talked to each other, we are grinding. And some people, if they meet you after 10 years, oh, you haven't called me, oh, you haven't talked to me. If you are really busy and then we meet after 10, 15 years, you know what it is. What's next? That is how a rich friend thinks. And so if you have terrible relationships, it is a guarantee that you will never become rich. Number 4, money mindset. Money mindset. This is huge. We have the thinking that it takes money to make money. That is not necessarily true. Okay? And I want to let you know your mindset around money matters. I quite remember I used to think it was very hard to break even at a certain point in my business. And I thought this is all that I will ever achieve. But I met a friend. He's a mentor actually, but now we are friends. This mentor showed me how I can experience a quantum leap in my business. When I talk about quantum leap, I'm talking about moving from one aspect or one area of your business or your life to another area within a very short period of time. That is moving from, say, $500,000 to maybe $1 million or $2 million really fast. And he was able to show me how to make that quantum leap. That is very, very important. So when you hang around people with the right money mindset, you can experience quantum leap. It doesn't have to take forever for you to become rich. You've heard the saying, people say, oh, you have to make money slow. No, if you have the right connections and they tell you this is what you need to do, and if you increase your effort doing this, you're going to get that result within a very short period of time. And if you block it, guys, you're going to be extremely successful. But if you have the wrong money mindset, and you think it takes money to make money, or you think, oh, some people are cultists, they are doing some money rituals, and that is why they are rich. However you perceive money is very, very important to how successful you can be in life. And so if you have a poor money mindset rather than a rich money mindset, you are guaranteed that you will never become rich. Doing business with anyone, I always establish contract. I learned this very early at the age of 19. When I was into film production, and I started realizing I'm getting into some big deals and I didn't know what I was doing, and I got me a lawyer. So the last one is contract. I put in contract here for a reason. I will do a whole session on contracts. But it's very, very important to establish contracts with everyone that you're doing business with. And a contract simply says, this is what I'm going to do for you. This is what you're going to do for me in return. And this is how long you're going to take to do this job. And after I'm done, this is exactly what is going to happen. I'm going to give you maybe 50% of the money upfront. And when you're done with the job, I'll complete the remaining 50. When you establish a contract with someone and sign, they know that they will better come up with their own part of the deal. Does that make sense? So contracts are very important. And you might ask the question, do I have to make contracts with my relatives? Yes. Every family member of yours that you're giving money to for a job, for a project, whatever that is, have a contract with your relatives. I do that even with my blood relatives. If there are certain transactions that we are going into, I say sign here. Write this contract and sign here. This is how much you're collecting from me, and this is when you're going to give it back. We have that contract. It is very, very important. People take you serious. They take your money serious. They take the project serious when they sign contracts. Quick example. I met a friend a couple of years ago, and he had borrowed $6,000 to a friend that he trusted. They grew up together in the same household. It was like they were really close. And this friend was struggling at some stage in his life. He really needed some money. He got into a car wreck. He wanted to buy a new car. And the friend like, okay, come on, I'll give you this opportunity to get a job here. I'll give you the money that you're requesting for. You'll be working at this job, and every month you're going to be paying me this amount when you collect your salary. And the guy said, sure, fine, that's a good idea. And he came and started working for that friend. And he realized, this friend knows how much I'm making every month, and so he keep expecting me to pay him. What did that guy do? He quit that job. And when he left that job, there is no way for this guy to hold this guy accountable to pay his money, because when he called him, he said, I don't have a job anymore. So guess what? His $6,000 is gone, and it's because he was a friend and he knew him. He didn't believe he would ever treat him that way. So that is why contracts is very, very important. Don't joke with it. Before leaving Cameroon to travel abroad, I had to write contracts with everyone that was collecting money from me for whatever reason in the course of my travel. And I have those contracts till today, and my lawyer has a copy of that. So don't joke with that. You think it might be expensive to get a lawyer? Wait until someone takes your money and don't do what they say they will do. Imagine the pain and the trauma that you'll be in. Establish a contract with everyone else. As you do that, as you establish contracts with people, they will start taking you serious, and their lives will be better too, because they will take your job serious and they will understand that money matters. And so I should value someone's money when I take it. So establish contracts with everyone. So the last thing, and then I'll wrap up this session. How do you actually become rich, which is very, very important, because I've talked about the reasons why you will never become rich, and I say responsibilities, money management, relationship, money mindset, and contracts, right? So another thing that I want to help you understand is there is a huge opportunity for you to become extremely successful if you understand this graph. Okay, if you understand this graph. You've heard about Robert Kiyosaki with the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. You probably heard about the cash flow quadrant. It is very, very important. And he talked about the 4 different types of people that exist in this world. There are four different types of people. The E stands for employee. These are people who think that only a job will make them money. And guess what? If you live in America like I do, over 50%, depending on the state where you live in, 50% of the money you make goes into taxes. You put in hours, you sell your time for money. And he said this is the lowest stage that people find themselves in, and most people are in this bracket. They work for money. And he talked about the S quadrant. The S quadrant are the small business people. That is self-employed. Maybe you're a doctor, you're an electrician, you own your own small mom and pop business, and that is how you make your money. And it's like, this one is like you owning a job. This doesn't really guarantee you success because you own a job. You have that freedom, but you actually own a job. And sometimes you work even harder here than you do when you're an employee, because all the responsibilities of that business lies on your shoulder. But the next stage is the big business. These are people who have employees maybe ranging from, say, 50 to 100 employees or and above. And if you have a big business, say Coca-Cola and all of that, you have a system right here, a system that is generating income for you. At the minimum, this is where everybody should be thriving to be. If you're listening to this video, I know you're a great mind. You're thriving to build a big business. Why? You have other people working in that business. You've created a system. You don't have to be there. That is, if you travel, that business is still generating income. If you can travel and your business shuts down, then you don't yet have a business. You don't yet have a system. When you have a system here, it is easy for you to sell that business because it is a system. You can break it down and explain it to a shareholder, or you can explain it to a broker, or you can explain it to a franchisee, or whoever that is wants to get involved in your business. They can run that system without you being present. This is where you want to be. So anytime I'm designing a business plan, I'm looking at the structure of my business, my question is always, can this business run without me being present? If I travel, can this business still be functioning? And if you don't have that yet, then you're just a small business owner and you're self-employed. Does that make sense? And the last stage he talks about, which is huge. Now, this is where the top guys are. This is where the top 1% are. And this is investors. Investors. You hear about Warren Buffett. Those are investors. They put money in business. They put money in companies. They invest their money and they have their money producing money. People who work in Wall Street, most of them are investors. They look for opportunities and they invest. And like I was saying, for my peeps and my brothers and sisters in Cameroon, if we will have to grow our economy and change our nation to the next level, we need to understand what investing is all about. How can I put 5 people on the table, pitch a business idea, have them put money in that idea, or I put money in their idea? If it is very, very important. People take you serious. They take your money serious. They take the project serious when they sign contracts. Quick example. I met a friend a couple of years ago, and he had borrowed $6,000 to a friend that he trusted. They grew up together in the same household. Like, they were really close. And this friend was struggling at some stage in his life. He really needed some money. He got into a car wreck. He wanted to buy a new car. And the friend like, okay, come on, I'll give you this opportunity to get a job here. I'll give you the money that you're requesting for. You'll be working at this job, and every month you're going to be paying me this amount when you collect your salary. And the guy said, sure, fine, that's a good idea. And he came and started working for that friend. And he realized, this friend knows how much I'm making every month, and so he keep expecting me to pay him. What did that guy do? He quit that job. And when he left that job, there is no way for this guy to hold this guy accountable to pay his money, because when he called him, he said, I don't have a job anymore. So guess what? His $6,000 is gone, and it's because he was a friend and he knew him. He didn't believe he would ever treat him that way. So that is why contracts is very, very important. Don't joke with it. That guarantees you consistent cash flow. That is where you want to be, or you become an investor. You don't even show up at the business. You don't even ask questions of what is going on, because you trust the people that are running the business. So you put in your money, and what you are expecting every month is a return on that investment. Hope this session was very educative. The goal is for us to be able to break even, get poverty out of the way, so that you can be able to enjoy the life that you desire, so that you never run out of money. You'll be able to have your dream car. You'll be able to have your dream house. You'll be able to get married to your dream spouse. You'll be able to raise your kids in dignity, because you have enough money that it is not a problem for you, if that makes sense. So this is where all of us want to be, and it is possible to achieve this. But first, your money mindset is very important. Because if someone is talking with me and I ask them questions and I get their response, I can understand immediately their mindset about money. If I ask you 5 questions regarding your business, regarding your life, I can know immediately where your mind stands when it comes to money. And I can understand if this is somebody that I can invest in or not. Just with 5 questions that I can ask you about money, and your response is going to tell me everything. And from there, I'll know, like, this person doesn't get it. But if they are willing to learn, teach them. But if they don't, you're like, okay, I get it, man. You're good. You're good. Your idea is so cool. Keep up with it. And if it's working for you, keep on going and doing what you're doing. So that's exactly what it is, guys. So you see, there are 5 reasons why you will never become rich. The reasons for this video is so that you can study this, understand it, and put it into practice, so that you can become rich and not end up not becoming rich. I love you guys so much, and I hope this session was very educative. And until next time, stay blessed. All right, if you like this video, you're gonna like this other episode, and you can watch it by clicking right here.